Welcome to everybody. My name is Steve Smith. I'm the owner of Big Tex Gym. I've competed numerous times in powerlifting since I was my 30s. I won the state Deadlift award in 2005. And anyways, I just want to welcome everybody and show them proper deadlift technique. We'll go over the chains and bands, how to use those today, also work on our depth, how to keep proper form, how to keep your back straight, how to keep your eyes up, and how to get your squat down so you can pick up the weight. Think of it as kind of a leg movement, and then it becomes a back movement. You know, it's not necessarily a back movement from the beginning, because if it is, you're going to mess up your back, right? So the key is really when you come down to use those legs. And as it gets heavier, it's harder to do this, of course, but the key is really to come up with the weight, with the legs, not the back bent over, right? So you squat way down, and then when you come up, then you pull that back like that, right? This is all the back right there. That's where that back gets hit. Oh. So, and I also say, I always try to emphasize too, keep your eyes up and try to be looking up at something. You know, I look at the Exxon sign over there, you know, or you look at the ceiling tiles or whatever, you know. Just try to keep your eyes up, which is going to keep your back up and not slumped over, right? I think a lot of people, you know, they kind of learn it to try to pick it up this way, right? But that's not right, because that'll mess up your back. It's really a hip, butt, hamstring for 70% of it probably, maybe 80. And then when you come up here, it becomes that back movement that we always talk about. Oh, it helps that back get thicker, and it does. But so much of it is really driven from how strong are you in the back of your hamstring, butt, and hips. Any questions? The sumo really forces you to go way down every time on every one of them. You got to be parallel. So you have to be ready to come up all the way down like that. Let's see. What else? And the same thing, keep the eyes up. Keep them looking up at something on the ceiling, whatever it is. And when you keep those eyes up, that's going to keep that back up and that back from slumping over. It's the same thing I advocate on squat. You know, always eyes up. I'm looking at something the whole time. Because if I look this way, my back's going to slump that way. Right? Since we got a small group here, do we want to, y'all want to try to do it? Want to try to do a deadlift and see if there's any questions? My feet? Yeah. So the feet is, good question. The feet is about shoulder, maybe a little wider. Yeah, right about there. Yep. And then supinated, squat down. That's a perfect deadlift right there. So he's picking it up with his legs. Yep. And then when he comes up to the top, he's doing that, pulling that weight back. Yep. Perfect. Awesome. You got it. Yeah, and that's one thing maybe I didn't go over or emphasize too much. When you come up to here, make sure you do that come back thing. I always say I'm proud as a peacock. You know, when a peacock flares their feathers when they walk up, you know, kind of think of it that way. Okay, I'm pretty proud, right? So I'm going to pull my shoulders back, pull that weight back, and that's what's going to work all of that back there. That's what gets that back thick. That's what makes the back strong, etc. Some people barefoot deadlift. Now I advocate move those feet a little wider. Yeah. Yep. Yep. There you go. Make sure what you say.
So what's the point of training with bands?
So the bands add a lot more resistance and make it harder as you pull the weight up. Of course, you want that because it's going to train you to really force your weight to pull it up, right? And once you quit using the bands, then of course picking the weight up is easier and you're faster. The idea is to be faster off the ground and explode up. And so the bands are good for this resistance. So the ways I know to use bands is this is the first way, and then I'm going to show you the other way, is we put these little orange bands up in the front. Let's see. So these go right in the front like this. Put them under your feet. I put them in the middle of my feet too. Don't put them on the toes, the front of the feet. If you'll pull your damn shoes off, it won't work. Okay. So again, I'm going to get my stance where I want it. I'll come down. That's through the bands, okay? Those little orange ones, I've practiced with these things. They're pretty awesome. I swear when we got them from the company we ordered them from, I thought, how are we going to use those little bands? And then the light bulb went off, right? So I just think they're awesome.
Are they from Elite FTS?
They're from Elite FTS, yeah. The other way to do it, you seen this way, other way? Is you have to put this under your feet. All right, just let it go down. Yeah. Probably that thicker one out there. We have a real thick, actually we have a thick black one too. But probably the thick one would be better here. This is pretty, what do you call it? It's kind of thin. But anyways, I think you'll get the idea. You pull it, you put it underneath your feet. Same thing. So it's again adding resistance. Try to focus on the down, inhale, exhale on the way out.
Breathing.
Same thing on the squat. Right. Same thing on the bench. We exhale when we press. Same thing here. We're exhaling when we're coming up. Obviously, the weight gets heavier. Your cadence of breathing is going to get off, but try to use your exhale is when you're doing the drive up, you know. It's easy to hold your breath. I've done it before too, but I do try to work on that exhale where I'm pressing or I'm pulling or whatever on the weight. So yeah, good question.
So Steve, the bands and chains help on the lockout. What about if I'm having more problems getting it off the ground in the first place and I'm fine at the lockout? Are there exercises for that?
Good question. Another way to help your deadlift is, which I haven't done these in a few weeks, so I may do these this coming week. So I'll show you. Good question. So what we're going to do is work on that. Now, You're going to have to lower the weight, for this deadlift, for this, the way you do it. But, get up on these plates. So what you're doing now is you're forcing yourself to squat really, really deep. Super deep. I've also done it with 3 plates. It does keep your feet kind of close together. If you don't want to be on these plates, we have those black squares. You've seen them around the gym. There's some, yeah, you're sitting on. You get those. Stand on those. We actually use those for box squats to raise and lower the depth. Those are great. The same thing here. I'm just doing the plates and easy to grab. So I'm going to come over here. I'm going to bring this bar right in front of me. And I got to squat way down here, right? I mean, I'm talking way low, right? Oh. It's a long ways down there, right? Oh. But it really forces you to get your butt down and work on that explosion up. And I find that after doing those, it helps. It really does help with getting the weight up, pulling the weight up. Makes you go fast. Sometimes in the powerlifting world, you could not only do a heavy day where you're lifting a good amount of weight for a few reps, you can do what's called a dynamic or a speed day. And the speed day is things like this. Get on the plates, really squat low, fire the weight up, do 6 sets, 8 sets of 4 or 5 reps. Not a lot of weight. It works on your squatting down and the explosion coming up. Glad y'all came. Yeah.
Thank you.
Awesome. Appreciate it. Okay. Good.
Thank you.
Yep.